competition leads to this. I'm your host, Golden Boy, and I couldn't be more pumped to be here because we're about to see the greatest Fortnite players in the world go up against each other in duos competition. Millions in prizing on the line, and most importantly, what's right behind me, the championship, the trophy, and the first ever Fortnite World Champion. We're going to crown that today, and it's going to be awesome. And I want to know if everyone here in the Arthur Ashe Stadium, are you hyped? Are you ready? You know what? Maybe I can't do the job. I think this will do some justice.
No pain, no gain, no guts, no glory. I'm a one-man army, ain't a one-man army. Ain't a weapon formed against me, and you already know the rest, so you know your best ain't gon' stress me. If you the best, I'm the next thing. You can do it too.
Now, I know everyone here is excited to get to the games, and we're going to do so in a little bit. The players are gearing up and getting ready to go. You know that each and every one of you inside of this stadium, you're just pumped. You've had your opportunity to go out to the festival. You've managed to meet up with your friends and enjoy some great times here in New York City. But obviously, our players are here to win a world championship. And the good news is we have two players standing by with Jordan Fisher who are looking like they can contend for the top of the mountain.
Thank you, GB. You are a handsome man. Now, I'm going to be super honest and very forward right now when I say that I've got two of my favorite people in this stadium right now that are competing together. Two of my favorite people to play with, two of my favorite people to watch and study. We have Sean and Aiden. Aiden, one of the most dominating controller players in the world, and he's proved it time and time again. With Sean on mouse and keyboard, one of the most mechanically skilled and gifted players in all of Fortnite. Now, with this combination of one of you on a controller and one of you on mouse and keyboard, there's got to be some pretty unique strategy that you guys can pull together. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, our synergy is great. Like you said, he's one of the best mechanical players. His tunnels are insane. Like, it's just insane watching him play. And just, you know, me being an aggressive player and having good aim, we really combo together well. Hoping we're going to do good.
1000%. Now, Sean, you both competed in the Pro-Am yesterday, which was a lot of fun. We all know that was a very sweaty lobby. But your thought process, your strategy going into today, tell me how that differs from yesterday and your performance there.
I think yesterday was like super fast-paced. You need to get kills to place well. But today we're going to go for endgame, play super slow, and so we can kill it endgame.
Fantastic. Well, we're all so excited to see you guys. GB, what do you have for us?
Always a pleasure to hear from the Ghost duo. They're going to look to go to the top, and they very well might do that. Now, I asked you guys earlier, I said, are you ready? So I'm going to ask you again, New York City, are you ready? Oh, no, I got to take the earpiece off. New York City, this is my hometown, and I know we can make some noise, so I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready? The Fortnite World Cup Finals start now. Let's send it over to your casters, Courage and Ninja.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Everything on the line here today. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop. And well, guess what? I'm joined by a surprise guest appearance, Tyler Ninja Blevins. I am so excited for today's action. Ninja, the emotion here is insane.
You have no idea, man. These guys have been playing for months, practicing, doing nothing but thinking, eating, sleeping, breathing Fortnite.
That's it, and it's all led to this. I know the nerves absolutely at an all-time high.
I'm nervous right now.
I'm just casting. I'm not even playing. Meanwhile, they're paying for $15 million, but it's not your normal Fortnite rules we're going to be playing today. Let's take a look at the format, catch everyone up to speed. I know a lot of new eyes will be on Fortnite competitive today. And Ninja, here's the format for points. So, this is duos. If you place in the top 15 duos in this game, they earn 3 points. Top 10, they earn 5 points. Top 5, they earn 7 points. And finally, the Victory Royale, they earn 10 points. Now, those points cannot stack, meaning in a game, you can only get a max of 10 placement points. Also, 1 point per elimination. So finding that good balance between elims and placements will be very key. Here's the prize money breakdown at Ninja. You've been involved in competitive gaming for a long, long time. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. I mean, you're looking at first place, $3 million. I mean, heck, I've even settled for third at 1.8.
Settle for 1 point.
I'll settle. No, we've been playing. We've both been competing for a long time, and I've been competing for almost 10 years. Prize pool's never even come close to this. This is life-changing.
Yeah, absolutely mind-blowing numbers right there. Again, everyone who made it this far, $50,000 in their pocket, but their eyes are on that top 10. They want to jump up that prize money ladder. Again, we are live right now for the Fortnite World Cup Finals. There are so many talented players here today from across the world. We want to hear your thoughts on Twitter. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Really, anywhere you can use hashtags. I know we both have our predictions.
Oh, absolutely.
You
want to go first?
No. You go first. Who for you is your standout that you're looking to see if they can take it home today?
Dude, man, I mean, I gotta give it up to Mongol and Nitro. I think they're gonna definitely close it out. They've been, I really am just super interested to see how they play. I've been watching a lot of their World Cups after they've already qualified. Hands down, one of the most aggressive duos throughout, the qualifications. What are they gonna do that here? Are they gonna go for placement, or are they gonna still W key like they've always been doing?
That's typically been their gameplay of choice. There's a look again at Mongrel and Mitro, both qualifying from Europe. You see, last time they played, in the week they qualified, their drop of choice was Loot Lake.
Yeah.
So will that remain the same today? These early game battles, these fights for the different points of interest will be so key. You go with a European duo.
Yeah.
I'm picking a European duo as well. Another young squad, Mr. Savage M and Benji Fishy. Dude, Mr. Savage M is cold-blooded. Every time I met him, I'm scared of him. They're absolutely insane, as you can see right here on your screen. We'll get those pictures fixed, don't worry. But either way, these guys are two absolute tanks. And Ninja, you've watched all these guys. You're absolutely one of the best players in the world, but it's almost like these guys are in a class of their own.
They are, man. I mean, I've competed against some of these guys in some other online tournaments as well, and literally watching Benji just slay out an entire lobby by himself in squads it's like it's art, man. What these guys do, it's art. So enjoy.
I know Mr. Savage in a public match got like 40-plus eliminations in Season 9, which is unheard of, all by himself, solo squads. There are so many ways you can watch, though, this weekend. I've been just looking at my phone already. I'm seeing a million-plus of you guys tune in. As you guys know, so many ways to watch. You've got Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere where there's live streams. Also, a new Fortnite.com/watch feature that you can go take a look at. You'll see some different individual feeds there that will be a crazy, unique way to watch Fortnite competitive for the first time. I know everyone at home looking forward to seeing their top players perform. This place now, Ninja, is insane. This is one of the most ridiculous arenas I think I've ever seen for an esports event, and I know people flooding on in from the outside. I just can't wait to get it started.
Dude, this is literally what I've been waiting for for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Best of the best, all in the same lobby. All right, in the qualifying matches on Sunday, you're playing against, in a lobby, maybe like 4 or 5 of the teams who are actually here right now, but now this is going to be all of them in the same lobby. Every single battle is going to be the best players in the world fighting against one another. I'm excited to watch the early game when they're landing in their spots. I'm excited to watch the mid game during the rotations. I'm going to be taking notes, and you guys should too.
Yeah. Also, other things of note to bring up. We're going to be playing on siphon settings here, increased material favorite. You want to explain for everyone at home exactly how that all works?
I'd absolutely love to. So, unlike normal matches, when you get an elimination, all right, you're going to be granted with 50 health or 50 shield, depending on what you're missing. And that's also going to give you 1 point as well. They also drop 50 mats of each, wood, brick, and metal. So, eliminations are definitely going to pay off early game if you guys can stack up those materials.
Yep. And remember, that is when you get a full elimination, not when you knock down an opponent.
Correct.
So, if I knock a player, you'll see in this, a lot more times teams will beat you, try to finish that elimination, get the health, go pick up the materials, maybe secure some extra loot. There's a look at the lobby screen. And, Ninja, I was laughing with you earlier when the players were warming up earlier today because they got some warm-up games in. Obviously, for many of them, it's their first time in a major LAN event. They wound up going through and they were just sitting at the spawn island like they were right now. I mean, look at the build battles happening on spawn island. They're all editing. They're all aiming. None of them are just sitting still. The nerves running through them, insane. The average age in today's tournament, 16 years old. Some of these guys are going to walk away with $1 million+ this weekend. At 16, what would you have spent your money on? I don't even want to know. Why not even That's probably
16, man. Just a bunch of candy and energy drinks, man. I didn't really.
So basically the same as today.
Exactly. Nothing really would change. Nothing's changed.
No, it's so much fun, man. Again, people flowing on into the venue, looking at these duos, looking at these contested areas, right? Loot Lake has been a very hot topic.
Yeah, man.
You know, Aiden has been landing it throughout all qualifiers. You see, you know, Mongrel and Mitro. I've been hearing some notes about, you know, Tilted Towers and or Neo Tilted, as it's now called, of where they're going to go. In your opinion, right now you play 6 games.
Yep.
You know how detrimental it can be to your mental state if you have one where you kind of drop right off spawn and get taken out.
Yeah.
What is your game plan here? Are you going for it? You don't care how many people land there? You just go and play your game?
No,
or
I think
you shy away? What do you do?
Oh, man, these guys have been practicing. They know. They know that they're going to be contested. They know that, and they're not, you know, if they're, intelligent players, they're going to play exactly how they've been practicing the last 10 World Cup qualifiers. They're going to go exactly where they go. They're going to push where they're going to push, and, you know, they're not going to care who it's going to be. Now, me, honestly, I'd like to say that that's how I play, but dude, in a situation like this, I think that if I saw someone contesting my drop, I'd definitely defer and try to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, you have one bad game, getting over that, that's going to be a huge mental obstacle, right? You get knocked first, that's going to be something that you're going to be thinking about in the second game, the third game. Oh my God, should we change our landing spots? And then if you're thinking like that, it's over.
Yeah, and I keep seeing you look down. You're like eagerly wanted to talk about this map. We have what the first map is going to be in front of us. But again, guys, there's so many exciting things going on in the world of Fortnite right now. One of the new limited time modes that is actually going on. Prop Hunt. We watched a little bit of it yesterday, but again, made by Stray Kite. It's a fun little, you know, hide and go seek game almost, Ninja.
Prop Hunt is the greatest thing that Fortnite has created from creative. It is amazing. It is hilarious. I mean, we were literally getting like angry and like, but also just laughing hysterically right when we're about to, you know, make it into the incinerator and get our points. It's just so fun. I mean, you could be a toilet. You know, you want to be anything. You want to be a pink flamingo, a bus. Go for it.
Go for it.
Just go for it.
Yeah, we've had some fun games of Prop Hunt that we played. But again, right now, live in the gameplay for free, Prop Hunt. A little bit different than the competitive settings. Obviously, Arena, it's been talked about, Ninja. This is the most played in qualifier for a tournament ever in the history of gaming. 40 million competitors, down to the top 200. To be exact, 178 because of the double qualified players.
Right.
And that is, you can't even put in like your head just how insane those numbers are.
I think it's just important to show and let everyone know that, man. Just Epic continues to change the game. Making these qualifiers online, it just allowed so many of these kids to be here today because they've been able to play it, you know, from the comfort and safety of their home instead of traveling across the world just to qualify.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the first times we've seen something like this, a qualifying like this. And, dude, I'm just excited to watch these kids dominate the next freaking 4 hours, 6 hours. I'm ready to stay here all night.
Hey, I'm down to stay here all night. I have no problem with that. I'm sure the arena is as well. When you talk about LAN events, right, you have so much competitive experience. You've been to so many across different games and genres. The one thing that stands out to me, though, it will never feel the exact same as it does as playing at home. So for these guys, what are some tips that you can share you think that they should kind of take into account as they're playing, maybe on LAN for the first time?
Well, do what I always tell people when they're saying, you know, hey, Ninja, I'm going to a tournament, any advice, right? You know, it's do exactly what you do at home, right? If you wear socks and, you know, no shoes at home, that's what you're going to do. If you don't wear any socks at all or you wear sandals, you wear that. If you wear nothing but sweats and PJs when you're gaming and practicing, that's exactly what you should be wearing right now when you're competing, right?
Yep.
Don't try to change anything up. Drink what you normally drink before the games, water, energy drinks, whatever the case may be, or, you know, eat what you're going to eat. Do not change anything up. It's very important to get in that mental state of what you do and how you've been practicing the entire time at home.
I've even heard of stuff as far as like don't change your sleep schedule or
Absolutely.
for this. Like literally take it like it normally is. Now, again, we talk about how there's $30 million on the line of the Fortnite World Cup Finals across today and tomorrow, but there's already been $3 million in prize money given away this weekend. That happened yesterday at the Creative World Cup Finals. Let's take a look.
And we're here in the player lounge right now, joined by the winners of the Creative World Cup. First of all, congratulations. Now, Scissors, how does it feel now to solidify that title?
It's kind of awesome considering I love creative mode. It's thriving. It's awesome. I love it.
Now, Tyler, did you ever believe that you guys would secure the position here today?
Yeah, I always knew we had it in the bag. You know, we're the week 1 qualifiers. We're the most stacked team. There's no competition. Just when the last map was a death run, I knew we had that in the bag. We got some good players here. I knew Xan would clutch up, and he did just that.
You could tell he lifted the finger. He said, we need 1 coin. Just grab this coin. right down here. If he can do this without being eliminated.
There it is. The win. Oh, he missed it, but gets it with the trap trigger.
You realize that one jump won this group here an extra $1 million.
It's unreal. Like, if you want to practice with dev runs, you need to, like, do it slow. Don't go in blindly. Like, try and, like, change everything you do every time you fail.
Zuzu, can you see yourself doing even more with creative? I mean, the success of today. Will you continue to go and play creative maps?
I think I would definitely stay consistent with creative because I feel like there's a lot of potential in creative still. And yeah, definitely this is my thing.
But I want to go down the line and see what each of you guys plan on doing with that prize.
I'll probably end up like saving most of the money, maybe like some investments.
He's 18 and he just won $336,000. What are you going to do with the prize?
Rent? Rent. Yeah, I think rent. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to save my money.
I am going to be responsible and probably just invest most of it and try and get even more money back.
All right, guys, congratulations again. Absolutely outstanding job. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see what the future of Creative Fortnite looks like.
The Creative World Cup Finals, so much fun yesterday. Again, congratulations to XzLaZeR and his team. $1.3 million won. I'm going to address the elephant in the room here, and it's not Tim the Tabman. You didn't win that, Tyler.
That's correct.
What exactly happened here?
That's correct. No, we got fourth place, but, you know, the crew that I picked out, man, Pal, Taco, and Kaz, just a good bunch of kids, man. I mean, I think, and I also got to meet a lot of the creators, the ones who developed a lot of the maps. And just a lot of passion from these guys, man. And, you know, I was really happy that I was able to, not even me, together as a unit, we pulled in, you know, 300 or 295,000 as a team.
Dude.
I mean, little whips, man. You know, we were just killing it, little ice creams. But that event was so incredible. And just another thing that kind of came out of nowhere again, that Epic changed the game with creative. You know what I mean? It kind of popped up out of nowhere. All these people, so many people. There were hundreds of people here because of creative.
Yeah. And again, I know I talked to XzLaZeR about it too. He can't believe just how far it's gone from his original runs he made to now it kind of inspired one of the three maps yesterday. For you, what was your favorite? Was it kind of the prop hunt mode? Was it the run?
Junkyard Juke, bro.
Okay.
Hands down, Junkyard Juke is the most fun game I've ever played. I mean, if you're going to go in with a crew of like 32 people, if you can even muster up a crew of 32 people, like I want that to be a playlist where I can just go and play Junkyard Juke, and it just fills in 32 people. Hey. It's so much fun, man.
I'm with that. What about, should we get the whole squad together or not?
I'm down with. Oh, we totally should. We should get a massive content creation squad and just go into that. It'd be the most funny thing in the world. Look, I mean, there's nothing greater when you're a little teddy bear and you're just walking around like trying to make it in. It's amazing, man.
Hey, listen, it's all fun and games here. Obviously, the theme of this weekend, things going on outside of the fan festival. There's also the Battle Pass redemption. Everyone here has got tickets, has the commemorative tickets. So many things to look back on and remember these moments. For a lot of people here, whether they're players or the individuals and fans who traveled, it's their first time to New York City, such a legendary, iconic place to have this major event. You see, again, the crowd continuing to fill on in, just getting some final things set up for the game so we can get it all launched for you. But trust me, we're all eagerly awaiting the start as well. So many organizations represented throughout the weekend, and I have just received the word that we want, Ninja. The game is ready to go.
I'm ready. The first Vic Roy, man. Who's it going to be, guys? All right, I want you guys to scream out your favorite duos right now, man. Let's make some noise.
Who do you think's going to win today? Scream it. Make it. I want to hear. Oh, it's gibberish. None of it makes sense.
I think I hear Mongrel, Nitro.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fortnite World Cup Finals duo competition begins right now.
This is going to be intense. I mean, there's nothing more, honestly, nerve-wracking than the initial launch. Off the bus, man. You're flying. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to be eliminated. Who's going to be the first one?
Yep.
You don't want to be the first one knocked out in the World Cup. You know, I mean, literally, I knocked him like, you know, it was the first game in the Pro-Am, and that was just amazing. You can't live that down. I don't want to be the first person knocking this.
No, for sure. As now we immediately hop on board with my pick to dominate today, Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, and they're heading right towards Happy Hamlet, a place they've called home so many times, and this is contested.
It's already contested.
You're flying on into here, Ninja. The early game's so key, and already Benji Fishy trying to put shots down range with that revolver, but area is contested. You see they're kind of split from each other right now. What are their comms like in this exact moment?
I mean, I think right now they're just going to be trying to hear exactly where these guys are, footsteps, any type of information they can pass off to one another is going to be very important. They've been practicing this landing. I'm pretty sure I watched these guys play literally every week because they're from EU, so they were before NA qualifiers. Yeah. And yeah, this is exactly where they normally land. Savage and Benji, they don't always land on top of one another. And you're honestly at a disadvantage if you do land in the same house because you're going to be getting less shields of one another, right? Less chances of getting shotguns and things like that. And I'm just interested to see how they're going to play this out. Are they going to be aggressive? Or are they going to back down?
Well, we just saw the first zone has been revealed. It is a northern side zone, so anyone in Happy Hamlet not safe. Polar Peak, Frosty Flights, Paradise Palms, Lucky Landing, all not safe. We continue to keep an eye on this fight. 98 players remaining right now in this game. Now, we mentioned the increased material farming right now, so you're hitting a couple trees, you're getting 20, 30 materials like it's nothing. Let's shift our focus, though, towards the middle of the map here at Dusty Divot, and it looks like Landjock and Punisher go out very, very early in this first game to Tetra and Eclipse, the new Rogue members.
They're wasting a lot of material right now. You can already see it. You've got only 100 matches left. That's 10 builds. These early game fights are always so detrimental. You have to be very, very, very particular with how many mats you're going to use when you're trying to ramp rush somebody, because if you make it there and they shoot you out and you have no mats, I mean, you're left with literally nothing to protect yourself with.
And look at the advantage that you now have. Tetra hasn't had any shields, but because 2 eliminations come on through, he gets both. That's 50 shield per elim, putting him at max HP, and now he can completely change how he takes this fight. It's not like the normal games where you're still stuck at 100 health and you might second guess what you want to do. You might play a little more passively. No, because of those early elims, they now have Dusty Divot to themselves. They pushed out the Asian duo, pushing towards that top Dusty Divot side of XXM and Mend, and now they're sitting pretty. Divot all to themselves. They've got metal galore here, as well as wood. The one material that really be lacking is going to be stone.
Yeah, definitely going to be lacking stone. They can get a 500 metal, which is going to be their most valuable asset here, landing in Dusty. What I'm just interested to see is, they have no rotation items when you're looking over there, so hopefully they find something that's going to help them rotate later. There are no balls that spawn in Dusty, so no ballers. It's going to be very difficult to make it to the late game if you guys don't have some sort of crazy rotation. Shadow bombs, anything like that.
Here's another fight going on towards Fatal Fields, and with how little materials there are, you got to think these players down low who are already just on white HP are in a tough spot, and there it is. Scarlet and his duo, Bell, get the quick elimination onto Brush. And that's going to push back Brush's duo into Fatal Fields and try to hide for a brief moment. Another rough start right there. So much stone in Fatal Fields. I feel like Fatal Fields is a underrated landing spot.
I think you can get everything at Fatal Fields. You definitely get wood and brick very quickly, and then there's definitely some metal that you can gather around. There's a bunch of cars and things like that. Some tractors there in the sticks. But listen, man, I'm really curious as to why they're not pushing Sizz.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword too, because yes, Sizz is by himself, but we've all experienced how easily you can hide in that brush there in the cornfields. And Sizz Lucky, these top players who land Fatal Fields, know how to actually navigate the loot in the corn without breaking the corn. So
I need to break the corn every time.
Right. I'm not good enough to know, but there's a certain path you can go on, and Sizz Lucky will actually be able to go back and pick up Brush's cards. So this is key.
You think you should go
Reboot
for it?
Vans. Remember, when you get brought back, you only had 100 HP and a common pistol. That will bring a lot of attention over. If you are Scarlet and Bell, are you sprint back over that fight? I think so. Now across the map, though, an engagement going out between KBB, Yuang, and their duo up against Vinny and Zexro, and there's the knock right there, Ninja.
Drum shotgun's very powerful. It's definitely underrated. You can get inside somebody's one-by-one right there. I mean, there's another knock with a drum shotgun, just absolutely wreaking havoc. Yuang trying to take this wall. I think his teammate is not going to be able to stay alive, so it's going to be Zex and Yu. He's got the shield advantage. All he has to do is play this patient. I'm going to be pretty sure that these guys don't have that many materials, so just needs to spray it out and hopefully find a chance to take him down, but he's healing up.
Yeah, Zexro has minis as well as big shields, so we'll be able to get back to full shield, and Yuang now in a tough spot. Do I try to go?
Zex definitely can interrupt this now. He took too long to start going with the res, but it looks like he's just going to be going for the reloads, taking his time, and might be dipping out, maybe trying to. He's definitely staying aggressive, but he's going to get the revive off, and now it's a 2-on-1 again.
Zexro staying confident, though, knowing right now still at over 150 HP, the teammate has to be at 30 health. The wall comes through, trying to spray it, and it's not going to happen, and you see Zexro right there, hands right to his head, some solid damage done, but Yuang dropped down to 59 HP, but with that elimination, we'll bump back up to over 100. Very, very close right there, Ninja, with the drum shotgun.
very important is checking out the Storm right now. A lot of these players, there's a lot. You guys can't see the screen, but there are plenty of people who are outside. They're going to have to start their rotations in. And this is actually where a lot of very talented players with their aim can clean up a lot of kills. This is actually my teammate and I's reverse. Our strategy was to try to get in those spots where you can beam people who are going to be flying throughout the sky using a lot of the slipstreams and just taking advantage of, your incredible accuracy.
A little update, too, on XzLaZeR-Berna-Yt. They did get the reboot in Fatal, so they're both back in play. Look at how slow this lobby is going, folks. 92 players left, and a definite fan favorite here. Nate Hill and Funk of FaZe Clan currently set on up near Lazy Lagoon. And Ninja, this is your landing spot that you went with your duo reverse. What are maybe some little tips and tricks for players at home who like to land here?
Yeah, all right, so there's, if you go on the boat, on the ship, every single one of the masts is like worth 200 wood, so you definitely want to go for those. You can easily get max wood in Arena in probably less than 10 seconds. And also there are some metal anchors in town that you can get for about 300 metal, which is, like the most valuable material that you can get. I mean, I'm just 91 players. I mean, have we talked about Storm Surge? I mean,
we haven't yet. I was going to let that be a bridge when we cross it, but
because 91 people left. I mean, how soon is it going to be?
We're going to have Storm Surge in every game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to this is going to be nuts. If you guys don't know what Storm Surge is, basically the team that has done the least amount of damage is going to start taking damage until they get above the damage threshold.
Yes, and it tells the players on their screen what the damage threshold is. If you're used to playing at home, you probably have never experienced Storm Surge in a normal game, but it is very common in competitive because everyone wants to last until late game, earn those extra points, and wind up getting those placement points to come on through. Watching Letwick and Flexi right now, it's so scrappy, Ninja. It's not your normal game where you get to loot up and freely grab everything you want. Here, I mean, look at the inventory. A common heavy assault rifle, 2 heavy bullets.
Yeah, I mean, people are not going to be able to loot. They're not going to be able to loot normally. I mean, you have every single spot is definitely going to be contested or have talented players who are surrounding you. You got to be constantly worried about getting sniped from the side. All it takes is 2 seconds of being caught off guard, and you can get dinked twice with an infantry rifle, and boom, there goes 160 health, man, just like that.
89 players left now in the lobby as Twiz and Cover H, the duo, do get cut down. 45 duos remaining. The second zone has just been revealed, and again, Storm Surge will begin after that. I absolutely think it's going to happen. That will be for 70-plus players. So you keep that in mind as this goes on. Players who haven't really done any damage will know that they're going to be at a point where their hand is going to be forced. They're going to have to put on a little bit of aggression. You're going to see the game pick up just a little bit here. There's Snappy and Red Rush already in the next zone. They're more than happy to just farm up this metal structure and claim it as their own.
They're actually very centralized as well.
Yep.
I mean, a really great strategy that you're going to see a lot of people going to be using throughout this weekend in solos and in duos is to just try to get in the dead center of the second zone and honestly just kind of pray that the circle is going to continue to rotate in your favor. I mean, I'm still looking at a lot of these guys' inventories. One guy just gets knocked in front of him. Like, going to try to save his teammate. It's not going to happen. But there's not a lot of rotation items. I haven't seen a lot of shockwave grenades. I haven't seen a lot of shadow bombs. I don't see any launch pads in anyone's inventory.
Yeah.
It's going to be such the rotations late game are going to be nuts. People are going to get lasered out of the sky.
And Letwick now all by himself in a 1 versus 2 as his teammate did go down. You see Parpy and Volks still quite healthy between the two of them. Over 140 HP for both of them. Parpy still playing the slow ground, trying to spray out the opponent. And look at the material count for Volks. 135 total builds. It does look like Letwick just kind of ran away, but I don't believe Letwick was able to grab his teammate's reboot card. So will basically be by himself for the rest of this game.
It's going to be almost impossible to perform alone when your teammate is knocked. And there's the Storm Surge warning. These guys are 106 above it. You guys can see that, which means that there's somebody who has 106 damage less than them that is currently below the threshold, and they are going to need to hit some people, deal some damage. And that's actually the beauty of Storm Surge, right? You don't necessarily only want people kind of just lingering around in their 1-by-1s, praying that the circle moves to them. You're gonna see some fights that are gonna be forced to break out because players need to get above that, or they're gonna die. They're not gonna be able to make it.
Now moving towards the Dusty Divot Diner. You see Clicks and Skeptic. Yeah, the very young duo from NA East, and you just said yourself, I didn't even know you could farm this.
I didn't even know you could get down there.
This is the beauty of it, right? These are the top players in the world showing off the little things that they know that really no one else can pick up on. Many teams already stacking here as there's so many materials to be farmed up. And for a lot of players, Ninja, once they get max, they don't just stop there. They keep farming to have an excess for more if they need to expend a lot of materials quickly.
Yes.
On the bottom right of your screen, you see a fight going down in Salty Springs. A lot of grenades being thrown right there. That's going to be Serpent and Hype.
Serpent and Hype in a pretty decent spot. You're seeing, if you guys can look on the mini-map that we're staring at, every single team is now in the safe zone. Everyone is safe in the next circle. It is moving in. And this is just going to be double heavy sniper is in play. For those of you guys who do not know, a heavy sniper will take out a metal wall. It'll take out pretty much anything. It does 1,500 damage to structures. So if you have two teammates who have double heavy snipers, they can see a team, line up a shot of somebody hiding in a 1-by-1, and be able to take them out.
And that changes the game completely. Once you hear double heavy, you can no longer sit still ever. Or if you know where they're at, you have to make sure you have at least 2 walls of cover on that side to protect you from the inevitable double snipe. And when we say double snipe, it's as far as 1, 2, 3, shoot. And they both fire at the same time and catch you off guard.
There's absolutely zero time to react. And one thing you guys, we were talking about are the rotation items. We got 6 shadows for this guy, and they have a baller, so they're sitting pretty. I think these guys are in a great spot.
Absolutely. And you see the zone did just update towards the northern side of this current storm. Storm Surge is now in play, so players beginning to drop. 80 players in total in this game. They will just rotate on out of here. Hype and Serpent don't want the fight. And that's Jay, now quite weak. With Storm Surge beginning to tick in. Quentin and Lanouf now having to push a fight as Storm Surge is affecting them as well. And you see it just kind of smites them down from the heavens, and there they go. Getting dropped by Storm Surge. Unfortunate for them, but again, with not enough damage done, they do fall below that threshold.
Jeez, man, Storm Surge really does just force people into some pretty tricky situations. But again, man, it just goes to show a lot of aggressiveness is going to pay off for teams, man. You don't want to be put in that situation where, you know, you have to desperate and push. Maybe a duo that's better than you in combat. You know what I mean? And Airwax and Nikov
just... That's a replay.
Was that a replay? They just went down.
Airwax and Nikov are winners. Well, Airwax at least are back-to-back winner of the Pro-Am. Does go down. Airwax double qualified as well. Tough first game for them as they do go out quite early on. 71 players left in this game. 38 duos. Again, it's a slow crawl as everyone begins to drop. Have you ever seen anything like this in competitive?
No, I think that the only time that we saw numbers like this were when the circles they didn't really chunk that much, and they were more centralized in the beginning of competitive. So really no one had to rotate that much, and no one had to fight. So now that these circles are really just kind of moving around the map, you can't really predict them. I mean, you're getting these players who have, again, the great aim, and they're just beaming people who are focusing on trying to rotate in the circle. Now look, there's so many people coming from the south right now, and it's just free kills if you guys are in a top position with solid aim, man. You're going to Texture right now, already getting beamed. He's spamming the spacebar, trying to make it as difficult as possible to hit. He sees a lot of, look at it, already trying to figure out right now, where's he going to land? Look at all these people who are already boxed up. They're already creating these tunnels. More shots coming down. And he's going to be able to make it. 8 grenades. So that's going to be, I mean, if he can get in a position where some players are already getting focused on the outside, 8 grenades, he might be able to clean up those kills too.
Yep, that's right there. They do box up in time. Did take some shield damage, but thankfully they have some minis to replenish that in just a few brief moments as there's Eclipse now using them. He's got his teammate right next door as well. Medkit, so they're going to pop that too. Every little bit of HP matters. Saving the campfire for the late game, it appears.
Definitely got to save the campfire.
In the elimination feed right there. Here's a look at Mongrel earlier with his duo Mitro. They're set up currently in this zone. 68 players left.
Love watching this guy play, man. I'm serious. I mean, here's, you just check his inventory. Only got 2 guns right now, which is inventory rifle and a combat shotgun, so he has no spray guns. All right, spray guns are, you know, anything to an SMG, tactical assault rifle, SCAR, anything like that. You know, you've got to have a gun that can shoot pretty quickly to kill players and hit players through their 1-bys. You know, very difficult. Look at that healing too, though. Yeah. 5 slurps, 2 slurps, 5 chug splashes.
And they already have a slurp ticking. This is insane.
And they're super close to the zone as well. They don't have to move too far.
Yep, and material-wise, look at that, 135 total builds. They're in a fantastic position to make some noise in game number 1. We'll definitely keep up to date with them. The slipstream slowly inching towards where it begins to shut down Ninja, but with so many slipstreams still available in this current zone, a lot of players are going to use that to rotate on in freely without using launch pads or the shadow bombs. There's your whole map right there. the eastern side of the zone. None of these players really going to be into play. They're going to have to inch a little bit more towards Loot Lake if they want to be safe.
Some of the best, I mean, look, these are the best players in the world, and look how close they are to one another, man. I'm so excited when they actually have to force into these fights. The Storm's going to start pushing them. Look how, I'm sorry, man. I just can't, man. You guys notice also, Stinks, man, these players are so talented. It's going to be so hard to spray through their walls and actually deal damage to them. So you need things like grenades, like Stinks, right? Little fart bombs is what I like to call them, to force people out of their 1x1s and try to shoot them as they're rotating away and trying to build new 1x1s to dodge the Stinks.
You see the Stinks right now going down on the Mongrel. And Mongrel gets immediately ripped in two as it seemed like the lobby began to focus him right there. His duo still alive.
With good rotation, luckily.
Definitely has a bunch to, to be able to play with. The next Storm Surge has begun to kick on in. Metro, 12 damage below, will have to begin to put shots down range. The zone pushing as well. So in this position, with the zone at their back, Metro's goal, spray at players who have to push from the zone. They have one way they can go. They can't afford to take storm damage. They've got to push right out of it. Metro knows that. Now begins the fire. Dubs just below as well. One of the players who qualified multiple times through solos and then once in duos.
They also have some great rotation. 2 ballers still intact. And here's the thing that you just mentioned, all these players who are going to be rotating in, being forced to rotate in. Everyone knows that.
Very little ammo, though. Look, these are the last 9 assault rifle shots in Dubs' inventory. It is getting scrappy, folks. And there's the split. Still, though, only 80, meaning combined between the two, they really only have about 150 shots to work with. The zone still pushing. 61 players left. Reminder, folks, this is game number 1 of 6 today in the duos competition. Dubs does go down as a player got that back wall. He wasn't quite ready for it. Mega frantically backing on up, trying to create some space. Will he be able to go?
He's going to be able to pop that slurp. He's got
the Storm Surge on.
He's trying to be aggressive. Oh, he's still below, right? He's going to need to be aggressive. He won't even have time to revive his teammate. His teammate got finished, actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. He can get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Hitting him for 25 damage every time it winds up ticking. There it is again, dropping on in. Mega's hand is forced. Some big damage right there, still below. As players are continuing to drop all around, but Mega doing a solid job of keeping himself alive right now through the Storm Surge. Fantastic composure. Again, one of the young players on this stage looking to try to secure the title of Fortnite World Champion. No more Dubs. The duo still
okay,
down.
So now finally above. Finally above, and guess what? The most important thing to realize, guys, look at that rotation. Yes, he's alone. Yes, his teammate's down. But he has an incredible kit to not only make it to late game, but maybe even clutch this win out.
He dropped the shotgun. Okay, there you go.
Got the combat shotgun, one of the greatest shotguns to have late game. Does incredible damage, long range and close range. And all the guys, the circle just rotated now into the storm. Massive amounts of distance needs to be covered.
This Storm Surge is insane. It's still going on.
Finally taken out. 52 players left. And this is where things are about to get serious, guys.
Thomas drops some ammo right there for his teammate, Inclusia. And you see Thomas, that epic infantry rifle, one of your favorite weapons, Ninja. What is so good about that assault rifle?
It 100% rewards pinpoint accurate players, right? There's no bloom necessary. Your marker, your aim is right on their head. Boom. You're going to get that headshot. You're going to get 80 points of damage. And there's now the upgraded versions, the Legendary and the Epic, have 10 shots instead of 8. So, I mean, it just packs a punch, man. It can really catch players off guard, and that's exactly what you're going to need when you're playing against these top players who will literally build and protect themselves when they get shot once.
Folks, there are 45 players left in this very, very small zone. We are now on our 6th storm. You see it's about to begin to move, and players will frantically have to go across the map. Zayt and Saf right now discussing exactly what they should drop, pulling up their map, looking exactly where they have to go. 44 left in this one.
We already got people using shockwave grenades, guys. This is a very far rotation for the second movement circle, so this is actually going to move very quickly. These people are going to potentially get stuck on their launch pads because there's so much frequent building. It's going to be nuts. And who's going to try to take the high ground? Because after this first circle goes, this is where people start to only try to use the high ground.
And we know high ground is everything in competitive Fortnite late game. Everyone frantically moving away from the common enemy of everyone, which is that storm circle. Macwood taking zone damage. Daedra as well. King slowly bouncing on through with the shadow bomb, and does land. Yes, but taking no storm damage, just playing right on the edge. Yeah, right on the edge of the zone right now. Will just stay boxed up for a brief moment. as now there's 36 players remaining, stomping the elimination feed. Arkram now goes down as well. You can see the elimination feed on the top left to keep track of your favorite players. There's so much is going on. This is what tunneling is. When you hear players mention tunneling, this is it right here. You move with the zone, you tunnel your way in, give yourself cover, but not a lot of materials left. Only 22 builds, and this zone is stacked. But look who's on the high ground. It's Mr. Savage and Benji Fishing.
That would be your 2 picks, so good for you. All right, I have to owe you a bet there, man. Watch that. All right. Mongrel, unfortunately, do you still know if Mitro's still alive? I mean, listen, people are dying left and right, being eliminated. More Savage just used another shockwave grenade. He already had high ground, though. The question is, are people going to try to take it? You know that if you really want the chance to win this, you're going to have to try to take the high ground off them or have a rocket launcher to just take them out of it.
He's just so weak, and Mr. Savage just looks up and beams the player out of the air. It's all Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage in the elimination feed right now. 24 players left in this one. But 20 duos. There's almost no duos remaining, Ninja.
Right, this is all solos, and this is kind of what's going to happen, man.
Mr. Savage goes down.
It's up to Benji, and listen, Benji's been in this position before. We know he can handle it. Nitro's still in the game as well. I just saw him. He looks incredibly healthy, but now taking some storm damage. Benji's just going to try it. Look at the materials. Not a lot left. They're only using their shadows. I think he has 1 build left.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he has.
He's got 10 total builds.
10 total builds.
He's just trying to outlast as many players as possible. Remember these placement points. We've made it into our top 10 duos. Now into our top 8. Zayt and Saf now. Zayt and Saf now on the high ground.
This game.
One of the few, the only duo left. This has a Zayt and Saf win written all over it. Mitro, Mongrel's duo, was all by himself from very early on. Still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zayt and Saf close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in. Benji Fishy goes down. Mega, Mitro, and Scarlet on the low ground. Shots still coming on in. Zayt and Saf just sitting pretty.
Mitro just got a double, I think.
Mitro
5 limbs.
Tries to get it done. Not enough. Zayt and Saf, 2 versus 1. Will they take game number 1? Yes, they will.
Zayt and Saf had the high ground, and they used it the entire game. Rain fire from above. We're able to make up 5 limbs plus 10 placement points. That's going to be 15 points. Game 1.
Talk about a monster game number 1. You saw the immediate reaction. They know how key that was. And I've watched so many games of competitive Fortnite, Ninja. They were the only duo left with still like 18 players remaining. When they get the high ground like that, they send 1 player down to get close. Scarlet was already weak, and there's just no shot. In the end, the veteran players of Zayt and Saf take game number 1. And, you know, Ninja, that was a big topic of conversation. Players with LAN experience, players who've been around the Fortnite competitive scene at these major events for a long time. Will they let the nerves get to them? Guess what? The answer is no. Zayt and Saf take game number 1.
Kept their composure. It was absolutely incredible to watch, man. And seriously, these guys have been absolutely dominant in the World Cup qualifiers online. And it's only fair that they continue to show their dominance here at the actual World Cup stage.
Brilliant performance. You know that their game plan is always last as long as possible.
Absolutely.
But the fact that they made it through those storm surges, even with them not getting very aggressive, they had 0 limbs down to those final few moments. Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy, we have to talk about them for a second as well. The European young duo. They were on the high ground. It was looking good, Ninja, but so many players focusing them, the shockwave grenades as well, and they had no healing left.
It's unfortunate, man. We have a group full of these players who are literally the best in the world. They know exactly how to win, right? So if they don't have the high ground, they know that whenever there is a moment, that they have to shoot the high ground out with rockets, shockwave grenades. I think that's actually what happened. Someone shockwaved up and knocked them off the high ground.
Yep.
But when you have shield like Zayt and Naftate at the end there, and that high ground, I mean, it's over, man.
What a sigh of relief.
Incredible,
for those 2.
Incredible first game. And we're only just getting started.
We're only just getting started. Remember, 6 games being played today in the duos competition, in which $15 million will be rewarded. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, except with solos. So you'll want to stay glued to the streams here for the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get involved in the conversation. Send to Ninja and I your thoughts after game number 1. Who surprised you? What are you looking forward to in games 2 through 6? For me, other things I noticed, man. you've got to be on your A game. When it comes down to taking note of where you are with the storm surge, those were longer storm surges that have lasted than I've ever seen before.
I've honestly never seen Storm Surge affect the game so much.
Yep.
Because here we are having 80 people left after the second circle. So you know what I mean? And these guys, they're not going to let you hit them. You know what I mean? And if you want to put shots on these guys, it's going to be when they're flying in the air, rotating, which you also expose yourself to a sniper shot. You know.
Absolutely.
High risk, high reward, man. Right?
It's
Let's see how these guys change. I wonder if the guys who did get hurt a lot by the Storm Surge, are they going to make changes in the second game? Are they going to be a little bit more aggressive and trying to deal some damage as they rotate? That's what I want to know.
That's a great way to think of it. I know there were so many people that want to give their thoughts on these games, but over at Unreal Island, we've got our very own Sundown with his thoughts on Game 1.
Thank you so much, Courage and Ninja. In the first match of the duos competition is over, and the Victor Royale's experience wins out. We talked about XzLaZeR and GhostSaf and how they've been playing so long together, and that endgame was a prime example of textbook Zayt and Saf. We're going to re-roll it one more time, and we're going to break down kind of how they were able to keep the control. Now, pay attention right away. You can see on the backside, Saf has one angle while Zayt is going forward, and they're moving back over the tarps they've already established, but the angles they take make sure they're covering everything. They hear the shots below, they're putting the fire down towards them, and Scarlet is able to pick up Mitro, but doesn't have enough to get out. Zayt and Saf, 5 eliminations, Victory Royale, 15 points, showing that their competitive experience, their experience on stage and at major LAN events is winning out right now. They say nerves, what nerves? We might as well be playing at home on our own stations because they are just that good. Match 1 is over. Time to get back over the stage for match 2. Ninja and Courage, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sundown. Great stuff as always there from Unreal Island outside of the venue, enjoying the event themselves. But again, game number 1 in the books. Obviously, so many updates to see exactly where we stack up. In the end, those final moments can be so hectic. So before we hop into game 2, we will have a standings update for you all at home. Who do you think's up top of it right now? Well, guess what? It's Saf and Zayt, but...
And Benji, Mr. Savage, man. Just incredibly clutch solo moves and plays.
Both of our predictions.
Both of our predictions. And they're still up there. Guess what? Imagine when they're healthy. And when they actually get some good rotation items, I'd love to see how they're going to play in the late game, man.
Placement points so key. You did a great job pointing out Mitro at the end. Not only does he stay alive, not only does he perfectly use his materials and his movement items, but he somehow finds 5 more limbs, putting his team from probably an abysmal game 1 to top 3 in our leaderboards. Again, here are your standings from game number 1. Dubs and Mega. They wound up making it through as well, and that's because of Mega staying alive, too.
Absolutely. Incredibly talented duo, man. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what Aiden can do, and Sean, so hopefully they step it up in this next game. Game 2 is about to get on its way, man. Are you ready?
I am ready. Ladies and gentlemen, in this sold-out arena, are you guys ready for game number 2? Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle bus has launched. Game number 2 of the Fortnite World Cup Duo Finals is underway.
Again, I'm just going to keep saying it, the most nerve-wracking part of any competition, but definitely Fortnite for me, is the second you jump out of that bus.
Yep.
Right? Once you hit the ground, once these players hit the ground, they're going to definitely have hopefully less nerves, going to get back into the flow, back into the farming mentality. And man, I'm looking at these llamas on my screen, I'm just hoping that they find them. There's nothing greater than finding the new upgraded llamas at 350 mats.
Dude, they're insane. And they're everywhere. And look, wait, can we look at the map? Look at the north side. You've got 3 llamas in a very small area.
Llamas.
And many players have gotten better at spotting llamas from very, very far away.
I mean, the one thing I was telling my teammate Malachi, I was like, listen, man, sometimes you just actually have to tell yourself, hey, we should probably look for llamas as we're flying in because, usually you're looking for players, who's going to be landing next to you. But if you actually keep an eye out for that adorable pink, purple, and blue llama.
And there's one.
I mean, look, you're just going to get rewarded with shield, rotation. There's Shadow Bomb Storm, campfires, minis. I mean, these are incredibly valuable.
And remember, materials get capped at 500 of each type. So when you get 350, it's done its job for you. You can spend much less time looting and, farming and much more time looting. And look at Zayt perfectly using the Shadow Bomb Ninja. For players at home who are wondering how he just used it for way more than the 6 seconds it actually lets you use it for, Explain a little bit of staying on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, all you have to do is just continue that jump animation. That's going to trigger the double jump. And as long as you don't touch any solid ground, you're going to be able to continue to double bounce back and forth, man. It's an incredible use of the Shadow Bombs, and you're probably going to see a lot of players do something like that in the late game off of other people's builds, and which is way more difficult to do that off a mountain, by the way.
For sure, as we now take a look at the storm is landing side of the map, and this storm is very far. Great point to bring up there. We can see on our side, the zone right now basically gets cut off at Dusty Divot and Neo Tilted, and the rest of the north side of the map are in play. So everyone near the middle and south side will have to move, and you see in the elimination feed very early on, Elevate does get cut down. So a tough start for the duo from 100 Thieves right there, as you've got to wonder if Arkram's still alive. Either way, though, Daedra and M11Z
looks like they have players
down in Loot Lake. Lucky Landing, and they do have a duo nearby.
Looks like they're trying to obviously back away while continuing to farm up. Lucky Landing is not really a 4-person landing. When more than two people land here, one of them is going to be leaving a little bit handicapped. And Yuang in a fight right now, popping that last big shield, so all of his damage that he will take from now on will be permanent unless he gets an elimination and gets...
Look at how good these stink grenades are right now. Scram and Mexi have lost so much HP off the start of this one just from getting ticks. The spray does come on through. A third party, though, beginning to shoot down on a Yuang. So another player putting their attention towards this fight.
Trying to line of sight
at Snobby, but KBB does go down. It's now Yuang all by himself, and no materials left, Ninja.
He can't even take a wall.
They're really, this is an abysmal position to be in. Yuang knows that. Trying to fall back to his teammate to maybe sneak a revive, but I just don't see.
A lot of these players really are kind of hesitant. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily want to push. There is a third party now. They don't have a lot of shield.
Are they going to
get
off
the right play?
They're going to push forward.
Yuang no shield, and he's going to get the double. He's going to get the double and the revive on KBB. And there was some delicious shockwave grenades that just slid down the ramp.
Yuang takes them down. The 4 builds left. I believe there was some help. The shots that came in from that third team getting nearby, which weakened them at first. Yuang gets the cleanup on the last one right there. What a swing for the duo. Shot does come in onto Keys, though, as another fight going down just outside the desert side of the map. Keys and Slacks up against 2.
Running out of materials already, and guess what? These guys are at the farthest point of the storm.
Yep.
So this is not, they can't afford this fight, right? The longer this takes, they're not going to be able to get materials. They're going to be burning all the materials in this fight right now. So they're definitely going to need these elims to make up for it.
That was
and he took the knock on Landjock.
And Landjock and Punisher went down early last game as well, and it looks like Landjock will suffer the same fate here.
Upgraded combat shotgun, you know he's going to take that. Punisher trying to make some plays here. Still now it is a 2-on-1 situation. Just need to play the numbers advantage. And again, Storm is about to start moving, so they're going to have to make some plays sooner rather than later.
No ammunition. Very few builds. No shield. This spells disaster, and Punisher goes down, and there's the frustration in the player camera right there. Slacks and Keys, 2 quick eliminations. But you mentioned they can't afford to do that. It takes so much time in that fight. They've got to go very far still. Now over to Neo Tilted. Clicks and Skeptic in a fight.
Got some shield. Doesn't necessarily want to use this mini to only get a 10. And he's looking, he's trying to obviously take some walls, help his teammate out. No, he's getting taken. In the trap kill, he's going to get the knock. Unbelievable, incredible place. Bad Sniper goes down, and now he's continuing to branch out. When you guys are in fights like this, you always want to do exactly what he's doing right now, which is branch out, continue to build these little 1x1s with pyramids, try to confuse your opponents of where you actually are healing up.
Skeptic just 8 builds left. They're trying to stay alive right now. They do have the number advantage. Clips has time to pop 1 mini, and it looks like they're going to go for it right now. They've made the conscious decision to try to build out, but no. They back up for a moment.
Finally gets a shotgun.
Yep. Shotgun picked up. Grenades now as well. They want to go for the second elimination. And
we take the L. Oh my God! We got the trap talk
in real life. Did he just take the L in real life? Homie, this is land. This dude's gonna come over. No, I'm just kidding.
40,
but the Stinks come on in.
Stinks coming in, 22 health left. Campfire down. He has.
Oh, and look who's here.
Third party. Hello.
Look who's here. NA puts up the take the L, and EU says no, no, no. This is the World Cup, baby. I'm gonna show which continent is best. Mitro and Mongrel, full HP, and they storm roll through.
Dueling for Mitro,
Clicks
still
right there.
Down low. Wow, incredible. Look at that kit. gold scar, gold combat, heavy shotgun, or I'm sorry, heavy sniper rifle for taking opponents' walls. Look at, they're just stealing and bum rushing, and that's going to be it.
And there's no shot right there. Skeptic. You saw, hey, putting on a show. I love it. The man does YouTube for a reason. But then also a fantastic player. I think speaks a little bit too soon. Aiden now on your screen. Does knock one. Hasn't finished the elimination yet, so still will gain 50 HP if he can get the full. There it is. Now a 2 versus 1. Aiden and Sean. Look at how weak Sean is, though, Ninja.
Sean has absolutely no health. A little bit of shield. Hopefully we're going to drop some minis here. Aiden being the good team that he is. I'm sure he's calling it out right now. But it is also a 2-on-1, and they don't know, we don't know how weak this guy is right now, but if he is weak, they're going to look to try to trade. And there's a double shotgun shot for over 21 white. Players no shield left are going to try to put the pressure on. Sean has health, and look how aggressive they're being. They're both one hit. They can actually grab.
They're going for it. They're saying, you would have thrown the trap down by now. And there it is. And look at the take from Aiden. The jump out to the side, and they'll be rewarded with shields, with materials. And look, Aiden, actually, there was 2 big shields.
Yeah.
Aiden's got the full health.
That's incredible, man.
You see the stats so far this game. Aiden has done 434 damage, has taken 312, and he's near back up to max health. I know Aiden is a crowd favorite here. Every time the camera goes on, there's a big cheer from this sold-out arena.
For those of you guys who do not know, the Storm Circle is about to update right now. We just saw our second one, forcing everyone out of the north and east side of the map. And also, guess what? Every single llama was found.
Yep.
All 5 llamas have been found, so we have some probably high material players right now.
A lot of rotation.
Oh my god, I can't even. Freaking out, man.
You're getting into it.
Looks
right
like a
now.
lot of people.
I love it.
Yeah, we're looking around. They're all gone. There's only 1 airdrop that's left, which means a lot of players. It's very difficult, man. Going for airdrops is super risky, but it looks like everyone at the World Cup here is taking their chances.
And what's kind of funny with this zone, as you see it on the bottom right side of your map, the slipstreams are there to basically help everyone get from the southeast, east, and south side of the map easily into this zone. So if you kind of sit outside and wait for players to move in from the slipstream, you might be able to deal a lot of damage. And remember, you might think, oh, well, there's no way you're going to get that elimination. I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying free damage for Storm Surge when that comes into play, because it is going to happen very, very soon here. We're about a minute away.
It literally looks like we've been watching that action. But there's 84 teams, 84 players left still.
Yep. I guess that's a testament to our observers backstage. Great stuff to them. XzLaZeR does take a bit of storm damage right there. Chug splashes in the inventory. And Ninja,
like a dolphin.
Chug splashes have came into this game and they've completely taken competitive by storm. Are they the best healing item currently in this meta?
I think that, there's a lot of items that get added where, not everyone is all unanimous about it, right? Some people do not like it. But let me tell you something about these splashes. I don't think I've ever seen more positive, reactions from an item being added than when Chug splashes were added. I mean, nothing but positivity on Twitter. It was absolutely incredible. I woke up to some delightful posts.
Delightful
Just some delightful posts.
Yeah.
Those of you guys who don't know what they are, each one splash, they come in packs of 2. You can stack up to 6. They give you 20 health, 4 shield, whatever you're missing.
And they're instant. You throw them down the ground, and they can be used to heal you and your teammates around you, as well as, if you really want to be a troll, your enemies that you knocked. Here are Mongrel and Micho in the zone, and you talked about this inventory. I'm going to come out and say it right now. There is no way someone in this lobby has a better inventory than what Mongrel has right now. And when you come into this, they were already in your top 3. So they're in a position right now, Ninja, where they have a pop-off performance right here. With only 6 games being played after the first 2, they could be your leaders.
Absolutely. I mean, they were only 2 points away from first, man, and they didn't even win the game. And Mongrel went down early before placing points were even rewarded. So Sean and Aiden in another fight with Quentin and his squad. Sean trying to take some walls here. And he's out of light ammo.
Out of materials.
And
That's
he's
a
out
big
of materials. So he can't even spray right now. The only thing you can do is spray an AR, and that's not really going to be effective against top players if you're actually trying to take walls.
Well, the player tried to drop a trap down low to bait Aiden, but Aiden does not fall for it. This seasoned veteran trying to cover his back. Players beginning to spray on through. Stink bombs dropping, and there's one a limb. Another shot comes in.
Gets his shield. That's why he went for the thirst.
Yep.
And grabbed the mats. 365 mats now. He is, or more than that. He's got.
Get out of the stinks. They've got to get out of the stinks.
So weak 2
Look at how weak they are.
And don't they can get both Sean and Aiden. I think that's exactly what they should. They split up. Now he's trying to take them one by one. He's getting pushed by more than one person.
Quick reaction from Aiden, but this looks like it could spell disaster for the duo. Damage dealt 639. He does go down, though the quick edit comes through.
Making plays. Now it's up to Sean. Can he clutch it? Only 2 HP. Got some minis. Picked up some ammunition now for his minigun. But it looks like Spades is just way more healthy. And obviously there's 3 other players who are around him as well. So what's he going to do? It looks like he's going for high ground. Smart play, but he's on a meds.
Oh, no, he's got wood. He's got wood. He's good. We both freaked out.
Going to put himself in a nice pyramid. For those of you guys who don't know what a brick or a metal pyramid.
Big thing to note. Look at his zone. He has to push. That's it. He has to push. He has 52 health, but the zone is right at his back. He's got to go. Don't even worry about Storm Surge. They're 446
above as well. Has a shot
that's
and he's going to be taken down. I mean, that's just the worst position to be in any competitive game, is being weak, low materials, low health, and being forced to push in.
Every time you watch Aiden and whoever he's playing with, they are always the most aggressive, it appears.
Yes.
If you remember the famous moment, I think for me, arguably one of the most famous moments in Fortnite competitive history was the Nick Merckx and Aiden duo where they made it into the big bonus about a year ago.
Oh my God.
And a crowd popped off. Well, they're always scrappy getting into eliminations. Here, the stat popped up for a second. Aiden and Sean had done 680 damage in the game. The average in the lobby was 80. They were 600 above in this lobby already. Unfortunately, though, when you fight that much, there's a higher chance of you going down. Speaking of potential fights, here's XzLaZeR and Brush, who we saw earlier on in the last game at Fatal Fields, struggle to stay alive. Now in another tough spot as they're both low on shields and low on health.
Decent rotation items, 2 shots.